No. Welcome, guys, to another episode of The Download. This has been a crazy week. So we are back for a massive round of updates. Again, we'll try to run through them. There's quite a bit to go over. Scarix, how you going, man?
Yeah, good. This week will be big. Next week will be big because of GameStop and merch even more. I'll be excited to look at the stats of that. We'll be able to see how many were sold, how many are being traded, and so on. So we'll take a look at that. That's exciting. But yeah, we got lots for this week, especially leaks. Very leaks heavy this week, and quite a few announcements.
Yeah, dude. I mean, fucking merchandise dropped today, so that was lucky. We'll touch on that. We'll have a look at the store in a little bit. But yeah, let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. The first thing we have is this Tiger Boreal leak. I think this came out today as well. This looks like
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. This doesn't look like we've been prepping for the week. This looks like we're just getting everything today.
If this one came out today, I don't know if I have the right one, but we're about to find out. I didn't give it to you, so we have volume. So we won't have volume for this, unfortunately.
It's fine. But it is what it is. It is. I mean, we don't need to watch the full thing, but
I don't think it even has volume. It's 50 seconds. We can watch it.
Yeah, sick. But yeah, man, what are your thoughts when you first look at this?
I know it's not rendered out, so that's kind of sticking out to me.
It's just in the blockout phase stage.
It feels a little bit Brightland Steps. I feel like they've overdone it with the water in some of these maps. Like Crimson Waste doesn't really have much, but I guess this is all ice, so it does make sense.
Yeah.
I do really like it though. I'm not going to lie, but it's hard to see without it being rendered out, to be honest, because ice is all about the reflections and all that sort of stuff, and it doesn't have this here. And I feel like that would really kind of bring it together.
The other leak, man. I
told you the wrong one.
Yeah, you got the wrong one for sure. Dude, I'm going to send one to you right now real quick. I'm going to send it in this chat here. Oh, shit. That's...
speaking of which, do you want to do the augments leak soon?
Yeah. That's cool. I'm down for that. Yeah, I know they've redone all the artwork, right? But no, the Tiger Boreal one that I was looking at was... I can't send you the link. Just go into leaks. I'm getting it. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say because that one's just like climbing and shit. Yes, dude. I wonder if the ice is gonna have like a sliding. I mean, we already have the sliding thing, but yeah, there we go. But yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah. So this is just all in block out. Oh, so that just frees up.
No, that's the end of that one.
Right. Yeah, it's just in a block out phase right now. But yeah, looking forward to seeing it once it's all done. Tiger Boreal is one of my favorites. I think that's going to be my favorite. I love that it's like got that super tall kind of vertical. I love the ice and stuff, and then it's got the greenery where you said it looks a bit Crimson Wasty. I love that. It's nice to see, and it's got like a massive lake, a frozen lake in the middle as well.
If I'm not mistaken, effects are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sliding and the snow is flying up.
Yeah,
that's nice attention to detail.
And there's still so much more to do, right? With the fucking geysers and things. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't be cussing. With the geysers and things like that as well. I'll try and slow down on the cussing, but it is just the way I speak, so it's not out of ill intent. Yeah. So I think this is a sick one. I'm excited, but obviously we're not going to see any of this till after open beta, right? I'm pretty sure we're still going to be launching with the three main ones that we have.
Yeah.
So
this is all like they're making pretty. It looked like they're making pretty sweet progress, which is exciting. I don't know how far away it would be, but if you assume that new regions would get rolled out one by one, then really they just need to finish either Tiger or Shard Bluff. We haven't seen much on Halcyon, but Halcyon looked pretty finished. Like it looked pretty good.
Yeah,
what we did see a while back.
Even from what we saw a while back, I think Grant kind of mentioned that they actually redid it all. Because they developed this new way of building out stages and things like that of the regions. So yeah, I'm excited. Regardless of all of these, I think because you see it in the current regions that we have, like some of the grass is clipping and stuff. It's not perfect just yet. So I would I don't know. Like you tell me, I would prefer to see those ones a bit more polished to the way that Crimson Waste is at open beta launch than like worrying about them prioritizing new regions. Once those three are playable, I'd want to get them as polished as possible. not necessarily introducing a new one. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Well, you even have the chance to expand those regions. You can add new sections and expand those maps, which I would assume is a little bit easier to do than adding new regions. I really think they're polished enough. I'm not convinced that they need that much more polish. Yeah. But the difference.
Speak to Grant.
The other thing I'll say is things like slamming into walls and that feeling kind of janky. That's a big thing that needed to be fixed. And I know that they're doing the climbing and the vaulting and stuff, so I think that will fix a lot of that up. Besides that, they're pretty good, to be honest. But I play mostly Abyssal, so I don't play Brightland a whole lot.
Oh, right. Abyssal's a lot more polished than Brightland. But if you look at Brightland, like on the rocks and the grass and stuff, like it's really, there's a lot of polish that needs to go into that. But
but Abyssal's pretty solid, to be honest. So yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the next one, man.
All right.
The next one we have
is the lore leak.
Yeah, cool. I skipped over this. I didn't read this because I actually already know the lore. What was your reaction to this one?
It's the first time, so this isn't necessarily lore, like a proper lore leak, but we got some of the flavor text of what Aaron's cooking up, and I thought that was really exciting because I think it's written really well, and I really like the way they've done it all. I don't know if we should read it out right now, but kind of the crux of it is that it talks. Arlen talks about radioactive substance, and what we've found out since then, as Aaron's talked about it, is that substance will be used to improve shard capture chance. And the other thing that we got from this leak was that it's going to be a new bar. So you're going to have like a bar of substance next to your energy bar and things like that. So maybe you expend, I don't know how it's going to work, but this makes me think maybe you expend half your substance in one shard if you really wanted to, or you split it up amongst all your shards. And how many Illuvitars are you going to have to destroy to get what amount of substance? And is it like one or two substance? And you apply one to a shard and stuff like that. It's very interesting. It leaves up a lot of questions, but the more freedom, the better. It's my favorite part of Illuvium Zero is you can build 10. We can build all converters if you want and nothing else. I like that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I like the idea of substance being like, I can infuse all of it into one shard or one little bit into one shard and stuff like that. And I hope it works that way. But besides that, I think it's making everything more interoperable is always welcome for the most part.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be interesting to see how it actually plays out, because what we know now, what it will be, probably two completely different things, right? Of how it's actually going to be when it's all out. But no, it's cool. It's cool that he kind of did that for the community, and to see like the personality of Mozart and Arlen. I think that was nice for the community. This is the first time they've really seen that kind of personality from these characters, which is cool. All right, yes, let's move on to the next one, man. What's the next one?
Gamestop.
Oh my God! Now, what are your thoughts, man?
You've been working closely with Lauren, and to be fair, we did touch on this on Augment a few days ago. But do you want to take us away with the GameStop collaboration and kind of what you expect from the future?
Man, look, I can't. You put me in a spot where what's going to come in with the future? What's up, Mal? What's happening?
But like the sale itself, do you think they're going to sell out quickly? Do you think not?
Yes.
Are you excited to see the different NFTs?
Yeah. And what I said, I don't know if I said this in the Lauren AMA. I know I've said it to you personally, but like there's only 20,000 discs, and the discs come with one Illuvitar, which means there's only going to be 20,000 of these Illuvitars, which is such a small number. Like that's really crazy. No, I think this is definitely going to sell out. I think it's going to sell out super quickly. I know you and Seaton have a little bit of a wager going on. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm on your side. I agree with you. Philo, what's happening? I think it's going to, well, in chat, let us know. Do you guys think it's going to sell out or not? How long is it going to take? I'm curious to see. I think the $50 price point is solid. It makes sense. Everything about this, I'm really happy with it. And I know the opportunities that come with it moving forward as well. Yeah, man, I'm happy. I think nothing but positives. I've seen some feedback, and I'll let you kind of jump in as well. But like, I've seen some feedback in the Discord about not knowing the details of the deal, being like, yo, are they getting 90% of the revenue? Are they getting 100% of the, like, just saying stuff like that. All I'll say to address that is like, trust in the competence of the team. we wouldn't be making bad decisions or bad deals like that for the sake of for no reason at all. So yeah, like trust in the competence of the team is what I'm saying. And at the end of the day, the blockchain, you're going to be able to see what the revenue is and what happens at the end, right? We can't be saying things beforehand. What's on the blockchain? I mean, figure it out. But that's all I can say on that. That's all I can say on that. Yeah. What are your thoughts on it all, man?
I wonder if they've put the split into the contract. That would be interesting. Unlikely, but interesting.
In the smart contract?
Yeah. Instead of manually doing it afterwards. But highly doubtful, but it'd be interesting. I think they're going to sell out. A little bit on the fence and off the fence on whether they're going to sell out sometimes, because everyone's trying to convince me otherwise. I think they're going to be quite popular. I like the idea that from the maths I've been speculating on and things like that, it looks like Goliath and stuff will be pretty rare in this set. But at the same time, it's interesting because what that means is this new GameStop album, there might be a handful of people that can actually finish the album and get themselves a Goliath. That being said, I'm talking more like the hollow finish Goliaths is very, very few. But there'll still be maybe 100 or so Goliaths, I think, things like that. But very interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to grab myself quite a few discs. I want to try and get most of the set. At a minimum, get myself a dash. But I think this is a great idea. I think this is kind of what alphas should have been. This feels like a more interesting alphas, and I think it's going to see a restructure in Illuvium Beyond.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know if I should say this publicly or not, or ask you this.
No, maybe later.
Yeah. I'll ask you a different question. I'll ask you that in private. Yeah. Yeah. What's happening, Jimbo? What's up?
The face of Illuvium is here. All right.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next one.
Yeah, for sure.
The next one is the Essentials Collection. The
Hey.
Illuvium store is live out of freaking nowhere.
out of nowhere for everyone involved. No, I'm really excited. Man. What are your thoughts? I know you've actually had a bit of a look prior to the store coming out, because obviously we tried to look after you guys as influencers, so you guys got about a week and a bit, like maybe 2 weeks notice advance that this was coming. What are your thoughts on it, man? You can click on the shop and actually show what's happening there. But what do you think about it all?
Yeah, it doesn't need to be overly complicated or anything. It gets to the point. It's simple. It's intuitive. It's pretty easy to use.
Yeah.
There's no. I still think it's not here. There's no like returns policy or anything, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys add that in soon.
Yeah.
But it does the job really well. The displays interface does a good job. That's probably what I was most afraid of, given like when you're bonding Illuvatars and stuff, you can't like search for your accessories and shit. I'm like, they do that.
They added the search thing.
I'm like, if they do that with displays, we are so
done.
screwed.
Yeah.
But no, it was easy. It was easy. And connecting your wallet and everything was easy. Illuvium's got pretty much everything now. They're a full company.
Say, is that a 6 in the cart? I was like, do you have more stuff in the cart?
No, it's a 0.
Yeah, you haven't received your stuff yet. Hey.
No.
Yeah.
If it's not tomorrow, it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah. What did you get? Well, what are you most looking forward to? Obviously, display.
I did end up getting the hoodie and the obelisk tee.
The obelisk tee.
I think it was the obelisk tee.
Yeah.
And the obelisk hoodie. So I'm looking forward to both of them. And I got 3 disc plates. 3?
Goddamn! What ones did you get?
My top 3.
Right. That's sick. I got a hollow Atlas with actually, dude, I'll DM. Actually, no, I can't DM you because then I don't know what else I messaged you about. But I got a hollow Atlas with a tier 4 background and my Archie with like the hat, the cigar, and everything. Yo, Jimbo, what the hell is that, bro? We load up with Jimbo. Actually, you can go on my Twitter and you can see it as well. Yo, what are you looking at right now?
These are my.
These are yours. That's sick.
So this links, this fiery, and that TNT.
Yeah, that's got a T5 background, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sick. Yeah, go on my Twitter real quick. I'll show you what I'm getting. I love Madman. I want to get the Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander bag. So I've got the I'll get another Hollow Atlas that isn't kind of done up, but that's like my one, and then that one. Look how good those colors look, bro. So clean. Dude, a Hollow Atlas with the tier 4 background. It's so clean. Yeah.
His eyes are so beautiful.
yeah. This one is me with the hip hop hat and the fucking cigar and shit. That one's a representation of me. War paint. Yeah, that's a representation of me. No, I'm super excited. I put in my order today, man. I've been so busy. It's crazy. I gave you guys the access to it like 2 weeks ago, and I got my order today. Like I put
not 2 weeks ago.
It was a week and a half or some shit. I don't know. Roughly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I put my order in today, so you guys are gonna get it before I am. So yeah, I'm glad that that's out there. I'm glad that that's out.
And we do recommend you guys wait a hot minute. Let some people kind of get their stuff, and we'll start promoting it and showing it off to everyone and things like that. There's no rush to get this stuff. There's no rush.
Buy now. Go.
But yeah, very exciting. Also, there's also the if you bought enough discs in wave 1, you get a free disc plate.
That should be coming in a couple of days. Yeah, that
won't come into fruition just yet. So if you did do that, then maybe wait a hot minute and just let the dust settle, and there will be time to get your affairs in order. It's all good. Yeah, discount codes and stuff as well. Yeah, exactly, Mel. Just give it a minute.
How many discs do you have to buy to get a disc plate? 250. Or you can just buy a disc plate. But if you want a free one, it's 250. Yeah. Let's move on to the next one, which is the burn report.
This is all pretty standard. You guys should have already seen that. I'm not going to go crazy on it. The big one that was really interesting to me that I saw it was Outsource Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it says it here.
I think that's about the cinematic, right?
A one-off outsourced studio expense paid on work completed for game launch execution. So very exciting. They've paid off some of this work. I forgot that they even still had kind of outsourced studios running. But yeah, so that's another one-off expense we won't have to worry about all the way up until game launch, which is very, very good. It's great getting all these big expenses for the launch itself out of the way early, and I like being able to see that in the finance report. So I think that's sweet.
Yeah, there's nothing for me to add here, man. It's a bad report. I mean, I hope everyone's happy that we're being consistent around that 1.2 mil mark. Yeah, I have nothing to add here.
And we got 20 months of runway, which brings us to 2025.
Yep. I mean, we're sitting nice.
All right, the next one. Do you want to take us on this one, TSG?
Yeah, for sure. The Jimbo tweet. I kind of forgot, but so he's talking about whether council members should have the freedom to express themselves, whether that's being confrontational or whatnot. This is I thought this was an interesting tweet, and he had very professional, fairly professional, sometimes, and I don't need to read. You guys can see this, but yeah, fairly professional came out on top. I don't know that's what you chose, right? Fairly professional.
I don't know. It's not logged in. I can't remember what I did.
Right. Okay.
I probably did fairly professional, I think.
Yeah. Well, what's your thought process here, man? Like, I'm keen to hear because this affects, I mean, obviously the team as well, but like he's talking about you guys, the council. Well, where do you stand on this? How do you feel about it all?
I've run into a few of my own instances where I wanted to be my own person rather than a council member. Quite a few times on the last epoch. I figured it out pretty quickly, kind of how I should conduct myself, what I believe in. I'm a pretty big believer in free speech for the most part, so that's very important. That's very important to me. Being able to be myself is very important to me. But I think as a council member, you're a part of something that's much bigger than yourself, and that comes with the role. That comes with the role that you take on, and you just gotta. That's just what you got to do. You got to be as professional as you can, because really, if the council themselves are causing havoc or distress in the community, then it's going to get way worse from there. I think someone's got to set as much of a good standard as they can, and the council is one of the front lines to that. I think that's really important, not just for protecting the DAO and protecting Illuvium, but for the mental health of everyone, really, especially the team and stuff like that. They don't want to be they don't want to be dealing with hostile council members, the same as the council doesn't want to deal with hostile community or hostile team members. It's just, it's not fun for anyone, and it's painful. It's just painful all around. Keeping it professional, keeping it smart and honest is the way forward.
Yeah, look, and I'm curious in chat. Let us know. I don't know if Jimbo, if you're still here as well. I'm keen to hear what you think about this, because you kind of put it out. But where do you stand? But like, yeah, dude, I don't look. We're all humans. I wouldn't expect council members or team members to be very professional all the time. I think that's kind of crazy. Like, people are people, and they have their way of communicating. I don't see the difference between fairly professional and sometimes unprofessional. Again, we're on the internet. We joke, we troll. Like, that's the generation that we live in. I think to kind of put that aside at all times is kind of crazy. So I think it's about finding that balance. And I don't think it's about being professional or not being professional. I think it's about having good faith. Yo, Kieran is watching. Yo, Kieran, what are your thoughts on this, man? Do you think council members and teams should be always professional? Sometimes. What do you think about this, Kieran?
I was actually going to mention Kieran.
Yeah.
Like, I think like he sets the standard for a lot of this sometimes, and
see, do you think that? I don't think so.
He's always happy to share his own opinions, and I think following that example makes a lot of sense. But if people think that shouldn't be what it is, and that's what people think, and I don't know.
Do you think he sets an example? Like, do you think he sets the example? Because I disagree. I think he's just a human being who does his thing.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. He sets the example. He's a large spokesperson for Illuvium, and if that's the approach he's taking, then that would lead you to believe that's the approach everyone involved should be taking. That's what I'm saying.
Right. See, that's where I disagree. Because, like, again, you know how I am, right? Like, let's say, fucking hypothetical, Kieran is, and I'm not saying anything about the way he conducts himself, but let's say that he is incredibly professional at all times, doesn't say anything, just utmost professional. Do you think that would affect the way that I communicate? As seeing him as the leader and being the example? No. Would that, like, I would still conduct myself in the way that I conduct myself, as long as I get my job done and I'm not offending anyone or really going in bad faith and doing things in bad faith. I wouldn't change. I don't think that that's the case, that he sets the example. I think people just need to have, I think people just need to have conversation in good faith, and things get heated. That's not an issue, but we need to stop attacking people and actually come at ideas, come at the discussions on the table, not just, you're a dickhead, you shouldn't be doing this. Okay, if you make that claim, why shouldn't I? Back up your thought process. Not, you shouldn't be doing this. You think you shouldn't be doing this? Like, that's just not good intent. So having a good intent conversation makes sense, in my opinion. So I'm reading some of the stuff here.
I think that's fair. I think Jibo's comments are fair. Yeah,
that's what I was just about to read. It can get dangerous if council members are restricted. Sorry, I'll bring this up. I'll read this. It can get dangerous if council members are restricted to speak on the fear of getting canceled. Exactly. Again, there needs to be a balance, because you can't just go out saying the N-word and shit. Like, there needs to be a balance of being respectful and whatnot.
To be fair, as unique as Kieran can be compared to most CEOs of companies, I don't think he's ever been disrespectful personally. So I think that's important.
And that's what, dude. And that's what I mean. Like, people saying this, dude. I think he conducts himself as a human being. If you're passionate about something and someone calls you out, you're gonna get passionate. I don't think he's. I don't remember a time that he's been overtly disrespectful. I think he's usually coming with like facts and actual points. The takeaway is that 80% of the voters want at least some form of fresh. Yeah, no one wants like chaos. No one wants to be fucking in a zoo. We want some form of a functional society. Yeah. I expect you to act. Yeah, that's not going to happen. All right. Yo, be yourself, share your opinion, be happy, be critical if you wish, but be factual. That's my point. Exactly. Be factual. Exactly. That's exactly my point, right? If you have a point, make sure you have something to back it up, and don't just say, you should do this. And then when someone counters, but you don't think that, that's not an argument. You can't, like, I don't believe this because of this. That is an argument. But yeah. And going back to Kieran, I expect you to. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I appreciate you for. Isn't it midnight? Yo, I appreciate you watching us at midnight, Kieran.
He's always up till like 3 a.m. He's up later than me.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, cool. Let's jump into the next one. I thought that was
all right.
That was a good one. What's this?
Yeah, so we've got community content section now.
Oh,
sick. We're going to take a quick look. We're obviously not going to watch the video. I'll leave it playing in the background, but we're going to take a quick look at the crypto banter interview, which happened 1 day ago.
6.9. Yeah.
Yeah, it did pretty well. I did manage to watch this video. I watched it a bit passively, so I didn't take a whole lot away. But what it did really well was it was a good recap of everything that's been happening lately, which is something that we need every now and then, and especially on a channel like Crypto Banters. But it was the right time. Sometimes they do those big updates, and it's kind of like you're updating things from like the past 6 months. But this is like really recency stuff. So I think it's really good. So anyone that would be new jumping into Illuvium, this is a really great watch. This is a great launch pack for you getting into Illuvium. I'm obviously working on my own video for that as well, but no, this is absolutely spot on. Highly recommend it. And does he go into anything really interesting in the interview? I can't remember.
Nothing super deep. Like you say, it's pretty surface level. What's going on, kind of talking about all the things, the raise and everything like that. I think the most depth they go into is with the raise, which I thought was very interesting. And it was a good conversation. But yeah, no, I have so much love and respect for Hustle. Always when we hit him up and say, yo, this thing's coming out, he's one of the guys that I always want to get like the big news to. He's always supported him, and Crypto Banner has always supported the stuff that we're doing. So yeah, super grateful for that. And yeah, Hustle's a good dude at what he does. No, there's nothing else I need to re-add on that. Yeah.
Kieran's camera's seen some improvement over the past couple months.
Yo, he's wearing headphones. He's wearing headphones.
It's a big upgrades.
Yo, it is.
All right. The next one we've got is this video. So we're not going to fully watch it or anything like that. We'll go through some of it. But yeah, Andrew and Roger have a discussion here. And Roger takes Andrew through the art of the Illuvatars and describes kind of like how he went about them and how he came to them and things like that. And it was a fun watch. I like how they kept it short.
Yeah, which was the point. We wanted to keep it really short so we could just kind of clip it, do the small things like that. Yeah, they're back in the draw. Talking about the headphones. Yeah, we're gonna suffer in the TFT match, the TFT game nights. No, I love this, man. This was sick. Highlighting all of the Illuvatars. So something that I've realized, so the wizard hat for the Goliath isn't going to be available in any other thing. This is the look for the Goliath. The Doke is going to have that athletic thing. I absolutely love the retro look of this all. Dude, I'm looking to spend, I know it's not a crazy amount with some of the people in the chat, but I'm looking to spend at least a grand or two on this and get quite a few. Fingers crossed, I got absolutely shafted in wave 1. I opened like over 400 to 500 discs, and I got one tier 5. And then I hear people that have opened 10 discs and they get a Ramfire or some shit. And I was like, dude, what the actual hell?
Yeah, I did not do well. I think I got maybe 2 Squizzes.
Shafted, bro.
And 1 Adorido.
Pump those rookie numbers up. Yo, pay me more. Kieran, pay me more. No, yeah, 500. Yeah, I got one tier 5. It was fucking ridiculous. I spent 300 and got 1100 Archie. Yeah, man. So fingers crossed. I kind of
1100 Archie.
Yo, I kind of put my shit aside for wave 1. I'm gonna put all of my money into this, and then wave 2. Fingers crossed, wave 2 picks up, and I don't have to deal with this shit again. But no, this is sick. I love this talk. Roger is a killer at what he does. There's some extra artwork that I'm looking at on the side, to be honest, that I need to address. That we'll see in due time. I'm really excited to see for the community to see what Roger's been working on.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to wave 2 as well. I can't wait for people to see the list of Illuvatars. I think it's a sweet list, to be honest.
I agree.
So we've got the last 2 things of today's episode are both from the ideas chat, and they're actually really good ones today. So very exciting. Community's coming with some hot stuff today. I'm starting to get dazed and tired, so you're going to have to lead us through these ones a bit, I think. But
sick.
Here's the first one: tournament accolades and medals for Illuvials from G Hamster.
Yeah. Look, so it's legitimately just having little medals on the Illuvials when you capture them. So if you go into the like a physical representation, I think we're going to have that in the metadata regardless. But if you're looking to purchase an Atlas that won a championship at some stage, that would be sick, right? Did we miss the giant ILB shot? We covered that early. We hit match store early, Kieran. So I think that idea is sick, man. It adds a little bit more of a story. You know me, I think narrative is incredibly important with esports and things like that, and content. So having that narrative kind of built into the Illuvials storyline there would be sick. Again, having the greatest player of all time own this and win a tournament. So let's say we had a Squiz that was owned by Jim Barino, the greatest of all time, and someone wanted to get that. It'd be cool to have that physical representation of this guy won the 2024 thing right there. So yeah, that's it. Oh, Kira's talking to Kagas. Yeah. So I think that's a sick idea. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I think this was like, what are the thumbs up? Everyone loved this, right?
Yeah. Well, this is quite, or to me, it's quite clearly inspired from it's quite clearly inspired from Pokemon. Pokemon has all that sort of stuff built in, everything. And I think this comes under the nicknames topic is another thing that people really want, is they want to be able to nickname their Illuvials, and it's going to change up the way the game feels quite a bit. I'm hoping that's not a difficult feature to implement. This with the history and the medals and everything is probably more difficult feature to implement. But I definitely think it adds a lot. I don't want people to frame it as like, oh yeah, win a tournament with this NFT, so now you can sell it for 10 ETH. I'm afraid some people in the community might frame it that way, which is not how I think it should be viewed. But I like the idea, and obviously this would be difficult. This is very far in the future, but I like the idea of taking it even further. And you've got like maybe the theme for the first tournament was retro, and you have like a retro hat or something that goes on the Illuvial's head if it manages to win that tournament. Now that NFT is about as unique as it possibly gets, and it's like fighting in the battles with a hat and stuff. I know this comes under the topic of cosmetics, but I like the idea that everything's interconnected that way. But yeah, history of it, even like a running history would be cool. Like this thing's killed 500 Illuvials over the past.
That's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Kieran's mentioned this before. I think that's been said. That stuff like that will be in the metadata of like, this Illuvials killed this many. This Illuvials won this. Like this is the longest streak. Shit like that. That should be included. I'm pretty sure that's already kind of there.
I think it's the little things. I think it's a great idea. There's been some good discussion, as I said, straight from Pokemon. I think Zeptile, Zeptile's very on top of Pokemon competitive.
This was a given. This was a given. Like there was no fucking like serious pushback on this idea. I think this is just an obvious good idea. So shout out G Hamster for that one. Yeah. Let's jump into the final one. I've stayed out of the loop on this one, man. What do you think about this? I stayed out of the loop.
Alpha stamp on a Luvatar. So
this got passed, right?
This was a long discussion. So it's currently on Snapshot.
Right.
No, it's not on Snapshot. Sorry, Blackout's on Snapshot. Yeah. This is hopefully going to Snapshot soon. Anyways, this has been a very long-running discussion. Okay. We went through this whole discussion where people felt like alphas weren't represented very well because there was no really major digital signature for them, and they were kind of hard to filter through and things like that. Maybe some of these aspects were more to do with the Illuva decks rather than the Illuvitars themselves, but everyone was very adamant that they wanted a way to distinguish non-alpha and alpha Illuvitars, especially on the artwork, so it can be viewed easily on multiple different marketplaces and things like that. Okay, it went through lots of rounds of discussion, lots of different options put forward, lots of things. A lot of the team members jumped in the discussion too. It was very, very lengthy and it was very good discussion. And eventually we ended up back right at the start. The very first thing that was ever mentioned on this topic was to put a stamp in the corner. And why the team didn't want to do that initially was they were concerned it was going to cover certain parts of the art. And after seeing the art, there are quite a few accessories, especially the props, that sit in the bottom corners and things like that. So I could definitely see where they were coming from. But they worked through it. They iterated through it, I think, like that. And they found a size and everything that works quite well. The downside is circular profile pictures and won't be represented on. Maybe you can make your own custom one. I don't know. And they're kind of still talking about it. And if we still have those, you can kind of see it up here. I don't know if this is going to work. It's not going to work. You can kind of see them on the top left. See the top left, the kind of the borders around the things. If that is the way it is, alphas might not be visible there as well. But Nick has talked about that maybe they might rework that anyways. Obviously, that was already a work in progress. So there's all that sort of stuff. But the big win is that these will be represented on disc plates, which will be really cool and represented inside the game, which is really cool. And I think it's really great. Alphas needed something more going for them. I'm not going to lie. And I think this is good enough. I don't think it needs more than an alpha stamp personally, but everyone's on board. They just wanted something really. I don't think they really cared what it was.
I don't really have a dog in this fight. I think it makes sense to have a visual representation. I always go back to what works, and if it's not broken, don't fix it. And I go back to Pokemon cards. You had a first edition stamp on it. I think some form of visual representation would have been good. Whether it's a stamp, whether it's something else, I don't know. I'm going to leave that to the art team. But no, I think, again, this is a no-brainer. Like, you should be able to tell the difference between an alpha and a non-alpha just by looking at it. So, yeah, all for it. But, yeah, so those were two ideas that were brought forth this week. And, I think they were both very, very good. And that is essentially it. We covered most of the stuff this week. Dude, this is fun. Again, I'm grateful that we're doing this. It lets me keep up to date with everything as well. Chat, let us know if you guys like this format. If you guys feel this shit is valuable, I think it is. If you guys like it, we'll keep doing this and we'll stay on top of it. But yeah, cool. Anything you want to say before we wrap this up, Skyrex?
Yeah, there's a handful of things. Firstly, we can't really do this without you guys. Thanks for all the support and everything as well. But another thing is, if you guys see anything happening in the community and stuff like that, shoot us a DM. We'll add it to the freaking run sheet, and it'll be really easy. It'll help you guys. It'll help everyone else. Throw it to us. It'll be great.
Yeah. And
I think that's it. And with that, the download is complete.
Jesus Christ. All right. Peace out, guys. Peace.